Hello and welcome to another Creative Edge video with me, your host Andrew, and we're doing another narrated speed art today. So I'm going to talk you through the creation of my Web of Deceit image. And so let's not hang around, let's get straight in there, shall we? So off we go. So here we go. So we start off in the usual way by cutting her out. So going around with the quick selection tool, using quick mask, and then painting on the quick mask to bring in the kind of the edges and making sure I've got the selection that I want. So you can see me there, sorting out the hair. Once that's done and I've taken the rest of the background out, I then start to build the background. Now this is one of the images where this is an image where I actually build the entire background purely from textures, rather than kind of having a photo or a number of photos which are kind of photos of a background. This is a totally kind of made background. As you can see, I'm getting lots of different textures here and transforming them and putting them into the picture, and just slowly building up the background. Now here you go. Now at this stage I'm wanting to put the glass into the door, that typical kind of film noir kind of private detective kind of frosted glass type thing. And so I started off by painting in the character and then transforming it into place. You can see here that I'm rearranging the background. I didn't do it as I originally actually had in my mind at the time what I wanted to do. I actually kind of jumped right in without really thinking about it, and so I had to rearrange the background because I wanted to put in the kind of the end of the corridor down the bottom. You can see now I am cutting her out a little, refining the cutout a little bit more, going around her edges, making sure there's no kind of white matte showing, and then now you can see me, I'm adding lots of shadows in there, and you're starting to put her into the scene a little bit more. Still messing with the window, it's not what I want, so I'll leave it again, checking out some reference there, but I'm going to work on that a little bit more. So again, putting in the lighting again, working out the backdrop, adding details onto the door, making sure that it looks how I want it to look. Trying to keep it as realistic as possible, basically, and add in all those kind of subtle details. This one, just changing the kind of colour of her shoes because I felt that the brown didn't really gel with her dress. And just painting over the top here, adding in some kind of corner highlights, that kind of thing. A bit of colour adjustments going on. Again, a bit more detail, just making sure that the door looks right here. A bit of skin retouching, usual beauty retouching, kind of skin smoothing, that kind of thing. Just quickly going on there. A bit more shadows and highlights, dodging and burning. Getting her to look how I want her to look. Yeah, just putting that in. Okay, so I'm starting down, putting the kind of the end of the corridor down there, making sure that all works. And then going back and actually completely redoing the window on the door, as it wasn't looking how I wanted it to look, using filters to add in a kind of ripple effect. And then trying to get the colour right. It was a lot of messing about. I ended up using a stock image of a guy to put in the kind of nebulous threat of someone on the other side of the glass, and then kind of using that as a guide to paint in. And then similar thing down here, to use a stock image of a guy to put in the shadow at the back there. So again, just lots more dodging and burning. An awful lot of that happens on all of my composites. And then just adding in a flare at the top just to suggest a light source at the top there. Again, just lots of making sure the lighting kind of looks how I want it to look. Now, one thing I do notice here is that the perspective is completely off. It doesn't work. So I end up kind of building some perspective lines to kind of fix the perspective of the bottom of the window on the door. And that is the end of it. So that just gives you a very kind of brief overview of kind of what went into that design. As you can see, that was one where I kind of built the background up from scratch, just using textures to kind of build that kind of corridor scene, from scratch. And it's good fun, but it is time consuming. So hopefully that was useful, of interest. Please comment. I do like to know if this is of interest to you. Did you enjoy watching that? What other things would you like to see? Would you like to see more of this kind of thing? Would you like to see speed arts or with just music? Or perhaps you'd like to see kind of more tutorials, showing how to do specific things in much more detail, kind of running through it in step by step, and that kind of thing. Enjoy doing all of them, so expect more of that in the near future. So remember, all I need you to do is to subscribe and watch the videos, because that really helps me out. And then if also share these on your social media, and then obviously if you want to help me out, and kind of support me to do more of this kind of thing, spend much more time on it, doing the videos and doing the composites and all that kind of thing, then you need to perhaps go to my Patreon page and support me by becoming a patron of my art. And you could do as little as $1 a month, and that would be very, very gratefully accepted, and that would be great. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.